Well, good morning, everyone, and thanks so much for joining me today at Juanette's Crafting Corner. I would like to thank these people for commenting on my last journal. This person also lives in Arizona. I'm not sure whether it's northern Arizona or down south, like where I live. And then, especially, I want to thank Joy, who clarified who owns Harrods. It's owned by Harrods Ltd., which is owned by the state of Qatar. So, thanks so much for clarifying that. And let's get started in today's video. So I have been working on another 6-fold journal, and let me just pull a couple of the things out here. You guys have seen me make this journal before, and I've been sewing the signatures together. It goes like this. So if you recall, and I have videos on how this journal is constructed. So remember, it's a journal that opens this way. These will all be attached. And then a journal opens this way. And then you have two small journals this way. I always forget that it's better if they fold out this way. This part of the journal itself does not get impeded in the middle here. So this will fold out this way. This one will fold out this way. And then as you flip it over, then you will also have two more journals on this side that will open up. Whoops, and because I have all my papers over here and I need to sew them. And so the papers will go over here and then that journal will be there. So it's a 6-fold or do-si-do journal. But anyway, I'm in the process of working on that. It's a custom order for somebody, but I'm starting to work on ephemera. And this page is in the journal. So I cut it down and I backed it. And what it will do is, I'm just going to grab a plain piece of paper. Now this is bigger than the journal. Let me just grab one of these. So for instance, it will be hinged here to the journal and flip out and be, it's going to be prettier on that side. So it will flip out and then you will have a journaling spot here and a journaling spot here. But as I look at it, I was thinking, well, that looks kind of plain. So let's see what we can do to make it look a little bit better. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to snip these corners with this We Are Memory Keepers corner rounder, and it gives a little decorative edge. So I will like that. I think that adds a little bit something to it. And then let's go ahead and ink the back. I don't need to really ink the front. Looks like I may have already done that a little bit. I backed it with straw paper that I get from Rachel over at Roxy Creations. And then as I look at this, I think, okay, what else can we do? So I noticed her dress is a really pretty bright green dress. And I have these stickles, which are glittery and the same color. Sorry, I just took a little zip of my Coke. I just woke up from a nap. It's Sunday, and well, I take a nap almost every day, but I just got up from my nap, and sometimes I need a little pick me up after waking up. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to follow what would be the lines of the dress to make it look like it's flowing. I'm going to add some of these stickles to the edge and the lines of the dress. And let's see if that makes it stand out a little bit more. These, it should be upside down. What do I do with the lid to it? Oh, here it is. What I'm going to do is put the lid back on and just kind of tap it, and hopefully it will flow down to the bottom a little bit better. So anyway, so yeah, oh yeah, that's much better. So I just woke up from a nap, and yesterday I had made a dinner in the crock pot. So I've got leftovers of that. So I don't have to make dinner. So yeah, life is good. The repairs are coming along nicely. The company, I should bring this down. The company has finished all of the kind of the demolition of the laundry room, bathroom, and hall closet. They had to run, I think I told you, they had to run dehumidifiers and heaters for almost 5 days to dry out the area from the leak. And do you see how that looks like it just kind of folds in there? I'm just going to put a little bit through her hair so it makes it looks like it's kind of coming through. I'm going to come along the sides here, but do you see how this, just doing this little bit, is really making this dress come to life? And it looks like, I don't want to get my hands in it, so what I'm going to do, it looks like the folds would come this way. Let's go over the top here. And then you'll need to, if you use this stuff, you'll need to set it off to the side and let it dry while it sits. Let's see, let's come underneath here a little bit. So yeah, so the next step in the house will be drywall people coming in, redoing all the drywall, rebuilding that in, and then they'll have to repaint it. So it's so funny. So it's a two bathroom home. And so my son's got one bathroom and then I have the other one. And so we're having to share a bathroom right now. He's 37. And we were laughing because it's not the first time we had to share a bathroom. When I lived in Hollister, California, and worked at that little hospital I did, we rented a little apartment out on a farm. It was just a 2-bedroom apartment. And it had like, it was like a, I mean, even though it was 2 bedrooms, it was one small bathroom, and we shared a bathroom then, and we were laughing about that. But what I told him, which really, I don't know how we did it. So growing up, there were 5 of us siblings, and then my mom and dad. So a total of us 7 in our home. And we had one bathroom for 7 people. But again, this was in the 1950s and 60s, and you did what you had to do. So I just was like, wow, how do we ever do that? But because we knew nothing else, that's what we did. So I love how her dress has just really come to life here. Now I'm going to put a little bit here in her hair to make it look like she's got some kind of a ribbon or something in her hair. But let me just bring that up to you. We're going to let it dry. And didn't that make that just come to life and look so much better? Okay, then the other thing, I think I showed you guys this. So this is in the kit, and what you will do is I think it's a band that will go on the side of the page, and then you'll have a tuck spot here. You will turn it over and you will have a tuck spot here. So what I thought I would do with this is take some glossy accents and make these, the flowers all stand out. So let's just start in the center, and I'm just going to go around and just fill all of this in. Now sometimes it does have little air bubbles in it, and you would just go in with a pen and get those air bubbles out. But this will dry kind of glossy and just really make that stand out. I'm going to go out to the edge a little bit more. And I think I'm just going to do the red flowers. Okay, let's just go here. So yeah, that's what's been going on here with the repairs. Oh, and we've had a cooling trend. You guys are going to laugh at this. In the morning, it's only like 81 degrees, like at 6 a.m. So for us down here in the southern Arizona, that's actually quite nice. It's not, 100 degrees. So I have got to get outside and start working in my vegetable garden. It's a total mess now. By the end of August. Nothing is, at least in my garden here. I think I need to amend the soil quite a bit, but nothing is producing. A lot of the plants are just burnt up to a crisp. And because it's been so hot, I haven't gone out and weeded. So let's just put a little bit up here. So it's a mess, but because to us here in the desert, 80 degrees feels pretty cool. So I'm gonna try to remember in the morning when I wake up. I usually get up early. I get up usually between 5:30 in the morning to 7, anywhere in there. And yeah, so it'll be cool. So I'm going to set this off to the side and let it dry, but I already have one done. And so I'm going to show you what that looks like. So do you see how it just made the flowers just kind of, stand up and just look a little bit prettier instead of just so dull? So that's another thing. And then I've got this image here. Now this is going to be a journaling card that will tuck in. And I was just looking at this beautiful dress. And I thought I would do the same thing with the glossy accents. So let's just do it and see what happens, because I think that will make her dress just very pretty. So I'm just going to go over the whole dress, and then we'll see what that looks like. The other thing I could do is up here at the top. You guys have seen me do it before, where I've taken glue and added a dab of glue, and then I have some what's it called? It just left my brain what it's called. It's kind of a powdery, but it's not powder. It's like a velvet. Like a velvet. They buy it, they use it, and they put it on fingernails. Anyway, I thought I might put some of that on, but it's such a small area. I would need one of the pictures where the gal is, the full picture of her. And that would look pretty. So I might do that. So I've just been working on this journal. I've done a little bit of slow stitching. Yeah, I've had this glossy accents forever, and it does last a really long time. And here, of course, in Arizona, like I said, it doesn't take too long to dry. I just want to come to the edge all the way. And the nice thing is it kind of settles, so it won't make the card look that bulky. So we're going to let that dry, and then I want to show you a couple of other things that I did to decorate. So this is a journal page, and again, this will probably be hinged. And so, oh, that's too big. Let me grab one in the journal itself. So see, I could do something with that. I would want to do a page where I kind of like a journal that flows. So I would want a little bit of purple. See, you got a tiny little bit of purple there, but I don't know if that goes. But this could actually, I would think this would be best with as a flip down. No, because then this bird is upside down. So nope, that's not going to work. So it's going to have to be a flip out for it to look good. But anyway, I will attach that with washi tape. And this is just some velvet ribbon that I folded in half and put on both sides of the page. And I don't really see one. Maybe the blue. I'll just have to go in and see where that would go. But that's another thing that I decorated. Then let's see here. Here's a tag that I decorated. And again, what I do sometimes, you guys have seen me do this, where I take a tag and then I put, this is some coffee dye, I think this is from a bed sheet. And I just lay it in between and then put another tag on the back of it. So you can write on it, but it doesn't bulk it up that much. And then I just added a little bit of fabric as a little topper here, and then just a little bit here of this kind of very rustic trim on the bottom. So I did that with that one. And then maybe another idea, I've explained this before, I love doing this, to where again I put an image on top, then a large piece of lace, and then back it with another piece of coffee dyed paper, so that again you can write on this without any problems, but it gives it a nice decorative edge there. So I'll be back in a little bit when this dries and we'll see what it looks like. So this is what the image looks like once the glossy accents has dried. And it didn't make it very thick at all. You can barely see it. And for instance, this would be pretty on this page because we have a little bit of red here and we have red here. So this would be a flip out here. So I found a page in the journal that has a larger image of the woman, and you guys have seen me do this before. I love this because when you look at it at first you don't notice it, but if you run your hands over it, you're able to tell it, and I think it has a really nice effect. So I have an assortment of these little velvet little powders, and I need to turn off my ceiling fan. And all I do is I take just a small amount. I think I'm going to use this small fine tip glue. It's the Beacon's 3-in-1 glue. And all I do is I take some glue and I put it right where I would want the velvet. Just a tiny little strip of it. Just a little beading of the glue. Because the velvet powder will not stick where there's not any glue. So I'm going to put it a little bit bigger over here so you can see it. Tiny bit more over there. I usually try to do this when I haven't sewn in the pages, so it's going to be interesting. just want to make sure I have enough. You can always go back in and add a little bit more if you need to. Okay, so that's got the glue everywhere. And then I have a piece of paper underneath it. And what I do is I just take a small little spoon and I just dump it over the top. And then I kind of smash it in. Now what I will do again is I will take a brush and brush off the excess. And it looks like a hot mess right now, but I guarantee you it will come off and brush off. Let's just go up here before the glue dries. And if you just take a small little paintbrush and run it over the top, that will come off onto this paper, and then you can put it back in the bottle. So I just use my finger and press it down and then I just set it off to the side and let it dry. And then when I go to brush that off, and I'll show you it, it will only be where the glue was. Okay, so we're gonna set this one aside. This is why if you're not a journal maker, you don't realize how long it takes to make a journal. But yeah, we're gonna set this off to the side and let it dry. And then I thought I would do one more thing. So this is in the kit, this image, and I just love it. And I thought they would be pretty as a tuck spot. So I'm just gonna do a rough cut here. I did print this off on my Epson paper, the thicker paper. Okay, and I probably will only do one, but I'm gonna fussy cut around it. Let me pull you guys back a little bit. Yeah. So I'm just gonna fussy cut around it. I did go ahead and back it on the back because on one of these, I might turn it into a journaling card. But on this one, I'm just gonna use it as a tuck spot. And I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do. So I just wanna go around this head. It just kind of sticks up over the page. Once I get around the head, it'll be a little bit easier, and I can take my bigger scissors and cut around it. So I just had an Amazon package delivered. I was working on my daughter's bowl, and I'm going to do a video of that, of the progress of that. You guys remember when I was up at her cabin, and I was working on making a slow stitch bowl to go on their coffee table, and I was doing a little bit of stitching, and I thought to myself, I didn't have all the wooden beads that I wanted to put on it, so I did a little Amazon order, and they were just delivered, and they're perfect. I tell you, you guys have heard me say this before, Amazon is one of the best inventions that has ever come around. The main reason is because otherwise I was going to have to drive all over Timbuktu to try to find beads like that in that size. So yeah, I'm just going to do a little bit of inking here. I love how these feathers come off the edge. And then now that I've cut this out, just to not keep you guys sitting here while I find the page, I'm going to go through the journal, find the page that I'm going to put this on, and then I'll be right back. So this image is set overnight now. I didn't get back to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it off to the side, and I'm just going to take this brush and brush it over here to this piece of paper that's I've folded up into a crease here, so then I'll be able to very easily pour it back into the container. And you can see right here, right where those spots were, where I put the glue, is where that velvet powder is staying. And then I'll just get the rest of it off here. And then if you run your hands over it, you will feel the difference and feel that velvety look. I think that's about it right there. And I'm going to hold it up to the camera so you guys can see a little bit better. But isn't that fun? I ordered those powders. Velvet powders is what they're called. I believe they're linked in the description box. Let me set this over to the side here. So I don't accidentally bump it, but I'm going to hold this up to the camera. And really, only if you were able to, touch it, definitely. I can feel there's a difference with the touching. Let's see. Yeah, she's got a little bit of that powder still on her skin there. So I want to make sure that's pulled off. Sorry, I'm holding it toward me so I can see it. There we go. Isn't that a fun little technique to do to a journal? So let me clean up here and then I'll show you my next technique. If you're looking on Amazon for those velvet powders, here's how mine came, with a lot of different colors, which is perfect. And that's my black, and I've used it several times. So I have found the page that I want to work on next, the piece of ephemera. And so you saw me cut this out, and I have this center page, which is very plain, and I thought that would look good in there as a tuck spot with more of a colorful journal card there tucked in. So I think that's what I'm going to do there. And I have some feathers. They're just plain white feathers that I bought at Michael's. And last night, before I went to bed, I took some ground espresso spray paint and I sprayed some. Now this is one that I had already had in my pack that I hadn't used. So I thought, let's attach those. So we want to make sure that we have enough room in our tuck spot for that to be there. So then this needs to come over and down to about there. And what I'm going to do is reach underneath here and make a little pencil mark of where I need to put glue. Or where I want that to be put. And so now all I'm going to do is put glue along the edge, but I'm wondering, I might want to put some of the feathers underneath here. So I'm going to start out with just putting glue here on this side and up at the top here. I'm going to hold off on putting glue back here where the feathers are in case I want to tuck some down underneath there. So that's adhered there. And then all I'm going to do is like take these feathers. Now this one looks pretty good. I like that one. It's a different color, but I don't think it's too bad. I'm going to snip off this edge. You can see it's a pretty big white edge there. So you don't see that as much. Yeah. And so what I'm going to do, maybe I don't need to slip that underneath, but I'm going to just run some glue down the spine of the feather. And attach that. Right there. And it's going to stick out just a little bit. I like the look of that. And then I know I've got this kind of a wider one, clearer one. I think I'm going to put that one there. Again, just run a little bit of glue down the kind of the spine of the feather. And it's going to kind of come off that way. I think that really makes for a fun page. I've got another big one here. I could, since it's a center spread, I could put that there. I like that. I think it's too big there. But yeah, since it's kind of a center page, then I have a small one over here too. Yeah, what the heck. Might as well. Let's just put this down too. Just so that there's kind of three coming out. And then I can kind of come underneath here where I didn't put any glue on the tail. And then I am going to, let's snip some of this off at a corner. Oops, that kind of, yeah, that's all right. Yeah, let's just add this. Nope. It's coming apart. Maybe not. Kind of seemed like it was, well, it is seeming coming apart. I think I do have to pull this part off, yeah. And then put my glue here. Oh, I think that really adds something fun to a page. You're still going to be able to journal there. And the journaling card, let me put this back in here. The journaling card gives this a little bit of color and fits right down in there. So yeah. So anyway, that's my video today. Some suggestions for making your ephemera and your pages stand out a little bit. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you on Thursday for Quick Tip Thursday. Thanks, and bye-bye.